Most men are drowning in dead-end relationships because they can't spot a stupid woman when she's standing right in front of them. And if you're wasting your energy on the wrong woman, you're not just failing her, you're betraying yourself. Let's cut through the bullshit. Weakness isn't a virtue, it's a liability. The world doesn't care about your excuses, your loneliness, or your fear of being single. It rewards men who demand excellence in their careers, their habits, and especially the people they let into their lives. A stupid woman doesn't just drain your time or your wallet. She erodes your discipline, your ambition, and your self-respect. You want to level up? Start by ruthlessly auditing who you allow close to you. This isn't about misogyny, it's about standards. Sign number 1. She's entitled, not earned. Entitlement is the silent killer of relationships. It festers in the small things. At first, it's just an expectation that you always pick up the tab, that you always plan the dates, that you always initiate the conversation. But soon, it mutates. She starts questioning your responses. Why didn't you text back immediately? Why aren't you paying for this? Why don't you just know what I want? It's never enough because it was never about mutual effort. It was about what she could extract from you. A high-value woman doesn't just take. She contributes, she builds, she elevates. She doesn't see you as an ATM, a therapist on call, or a pawn in her personal drama. She understands that respect, loyalty, and commitment must be earned, not demanded. If she expects your time, energy, and resources without giving anything of equal value in return, she's not a partner. She's a parasite. Think about it. Would you invest in a business that only drained your resources without offering any return? For of course not. Then why would you invest in a person who does the same? Your loyalty is not a birthright, it's a privilege, and privileges must be deserved. Stop funding someone's entitlement. Stop donating to a cause that sees you as disposable. You are not a charity. Choose wisely. Sign number 2. She lives in permanent victim mode. Life is tough for everyone. Setbacks, disappointments, and heartbreaks are universal. But while some people face adversity with resilience, a foolish woman wields misfortune like a weapon, turning every struggle into an excuse to avoid responsibility. Did she fail at her job? The system is rigged against people like me. Are her friendships in ruins? They were all jealous of me. Even her worst decisions, reckless spending, poor choices in relationships, self-sabotage, are never her fault. She is the heroine of every tragic tale, wronged by a cruel and unjust world, a victim of forces beyond her control. This isn't vulnerability, it's emotional manipulation disguised as helplessness. Pay attention, because the moment you step in to save her, you become her crutch. You invest your time, energy, even your sanity, trying to lift her out of the pit she chooses to dwell in. But the deeper you go, the more you realize she has no intention of climbing out. Victimhood is her comfort zone, her shield against growth, her get out of accountability-free card. And here's the truth. You can't build a future with someone who refuses to own their past. A strong woman doesn't romanticize suffering. She learns, adapts, and fights harder. She takes responsibility, dusts herself off, and figures out how to win despite the odds. That's the kind of woman you want in your corner. So ask yourself, are you signing up to be a savior, or are you looking for a real partner? The answer could determine the course of your life. Sign number 3. She's addicted to distraction, not growth. She wakes up and the first thing she does, grabs her phone. Thumb scrolling, eyes glazed, lost in an endless loop of TikTok dances, drama-filled influencer feuds, and mindless memes. Hours slip through her fingers like sand, but she's oblivious, drowning in a digital world designed to keep her sedated. When was the last time she picked up a book, learned a new skill, pushed herself to be better today than she was yesterday? The answer hangs in the silence. A woman who numbs herself with cheap dopamine, binge-watching reality TV mindlessly, shopping for things she doesn't need, obsessing over fleeting social media validation, will never invest in something deeper. Her mind is a wasteland of unfulfilled potential, and worse, she resents anyone who dares to escape the trap she's chosen. If you prioritize discipline, if you hit the gym, if you sharpen your intellect, she'll scoff. Why do you try so hard? Not because she doesn't understand, but because your ambition exposes her complacency. Can you build a future with someone who refuses to build herself? A sharp mind and a strong body aren't luxuries. They are the foundation of a life worth living. And those who reject growth? They are simply choosing to decay. Sign number 4. She gaslights, never reflects. You bring up her disrespect, expecting a conversation, but what you get instead is a performance, one designed to make you question your own reality. You're overreacting. You're too sensitive. It was just a joke. Each phrase is a carefully sharpened dagger, aimed not at resolution, but at confusion. A woman who lacks wisdom doesn't engage in honest dialogue. She wages emotional warfare. She won't just deny wrongdoing, she'll make you feel ridiculous for even noticing. Did she interrupt you mid-sentence in front of friends? Suddenly you're too dramatic. Did she belittle your ambitions? Now you're insecure. She will twist your words until you no longer trust your own thoughts. She will rewrite history so convincingly that you'll wonder if you imagined the insult in the first place. And the most sinister part? The moment you start apologizing for her mistakes is the moment she knows she's won. This isn't communication. It's psychological combat. Every time you let it slide, you're not keeping the peace. You're reinforcing her disrespect. The more you tolerate, the more she takes, until your self-worth is nothing but a collection of second guesses and swallowed words. So what do? You set boundaries. Not suggestions, not hopes, but firm, immovable lines. And if she crosses them, you walk, no debate, no pleading, no explaining. Because a woman who refuses to reflect will never change, and staying in her game only guarantees one thing: you lose. Sign number 5. She competes with you, not for you. A strong woman desires a partner who fuels her growth, someone who stands beside her as an ally, not an adversary. A weak, insecure woman, however, views the relationship as a battlefield, one where she must always emerge victorious, even at your expense. She doesn't celebrate your wins, she resents them. She doesn't support your ambitions, she subtly undermines them. Imagine this: you finally land that long-awaited promotion. It's the result of years of grinding, late nights, and unwavering commitment. You walk through the door, eager to share the news, expecting pride in her eyes. But instead she sighs, arms crossed, and says, "So I guess I'll be seeing even less of you now, huh?" Not a word of congratulations, just a guilt trip disguised as concern. Or picture this: you've committed to self-improvement, hitting the gym consistently, eating clean, pushing yourself to be better. But instead of encouragement, she scoffs. "Oh, so now you think you're better than me?" Every step you take toward personal growth, she sees as a threat, a challenge to her own insecurities. Instead of striving with you, she competes against you. This isn't love. This isn't partnership. It's a silent war waged in the shadows of the relationship, where every achievement you unlock is met with passive-aggressive remarks, belittling jabs, or strategic sabotage. Her healthy relationship should be a fortress, a safe haven where both partners elevate each other, not a battleground where victories feel like betrayals. You deserve a teammate, not an emotional mercenary. Sign number 6. She's a liability, not an asset. When life throws a storm your way, does she stand firm beside you, or does she crumble like a house of cards? Imagine losing your job overnight. Would she tighten the budget, strategize, and support you through the crisis? Or would she panic, complain, and sink deeper into reckless spending? If you fell ill, could she take the reins, make sound decisions, and uphold your household stability? Or would she become paralyzed by uncertainty, leaving everything to collapse? A liability doesn't just trip over life's hurdles. She amplifies the chaos. She spends money as if it's infinite, makes decisions based on fleeting emotions rather than wisdom, and lets petty drama dictate her relationships. She's swayed by impulse, not integrity, driven by indulgence rather than discipline. And loyalty? That's a shifting tide, dictated by how she feels in the moment. An asset, on the other hand, is a fortress. She fortifies your life with resilience, intelligence, and grace under pressure. She multiplies what you give her, whether it's love, resources, or ambition, turning them into something greater. A liability will drain you. An asset will elevate you. The question is, which one are you investing in? Conclusion. Here's the unfiltered reality. You don't stumble upon extraordinary women by chance. You forge yourself into a man who naturally draws them in. The world doesn't reward weakness, it preys on it. When you lack self-respect, you become a magnet for manipulation, disappointment, and regret. But strength, true, unshakable strength, demands admiration. It commands respect. It separates men who lead from those who beg for scraps of attention. So stop second-guessing, delete her number, walk away with your head high. If you can't, then be honest with yourself. You don't really want a better life, you just want comfort, even at the cost of your dignity. The path to greatness isn't handed to you. It's carved through discipline, sacrifice, and a relentless commitment to self-mastery. Every hard choice you avoid is a chain keeping you stuck. So if you're done making excuses, hit like, subscribe, and step up. The world belongs to those who refuse to sit on the sidelines. Are you in or are you out?